Oops, I guess I better leave this up. Okay, there we go. Hey guys. All right, so let me get one more screen up here just in case. Hello, hello. Today we're going to paint Sonoma. I have some very pretty images from my cousin who lives up there. And so I've sent out a few images to everybody, and I think we'll work on those in our sketchbook today. I may paint one large one here first, and then we can do another one if we have time. Just okay. Let's go to I'm just looking for, oh, here we go. I'm gonna pull up my channel. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good. My channel. Oops, turn off the sound. There we go. So I can at least see the chat in the YouTube channel. I'm streaming on Twitch too, so I guess I should pull up the chat. Let me see, I may... the browser, let's turn that on. Oops. I don't see the chat in the browser for some reason. I wonder why. I'm always experimenting with this. I really should do it before or after, but it never occurs to me to find my chat in here. Okay. You can send me a text, Kathleen, if you guys are on and ready to paint. If you want, just start drawing out. Just start drawing out. It sounds easy, right? This very simple landscape. This is a tricky one, actually, but we're going to do it very loose and gesturally. Oh, they're not on yet. Okay. All right, well, we'll just give it a minute and wait for you guys to get on. Let me get my microphone closer so you can hear me. And while you're doing that, I'm going to mess around with my chat settings here. It should be set up, but I don't see it. Oh, I know what I did. Wait, let me just, laptop, Mac, main desk palette. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. Paulina, if you're around, if you're on YouTube, if you could send me a text. Kathleen has trouble. Okay. It's on YouTube. And let me just go to my notes and send her the link again. Let's see. Here's my notes. Copy link. And paste. Okay, so she should be able to get the link now. So I'll put out one of my little sketches that I did the other day so you can kind of see the simplicity of what we're going to do. And while I work on playing around with my chat settings. Oh, there they are. Okay. Are these chat settings from today? Oh. Hello. Is this chat live? I'm trying to, I'm sorry, but I'm playing around with my browser screen, my chat. Oh, it is. Okay. Is that Birdie? Oh, Birdie. It's so good to see you. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out. Okay. Well, I took my picture out of the screen, but let me try to bring it back in because I want to see you. And I also want to see the chat. Yeah, we're going to be painting a little Sonoma series because I got a bunch of... I was talking to my cousin who lives out there and I got a bunch of pictures from her. So we're going to do some watercolor sketchbook of some vineyards today. So if you want to paint along, that's great. Otherwise, just hang on or just hang out. Okay, and Sweet Peach is here too. That's cool. All right, I gotta find a place to put my chat where I can see it. Sorry, I keep dragging it across the screen. You love the colors? Oh, good. Good, good, good. Okay. Well, I'm going to give you the option here of what's best for me. I want to see the chat and see, I'm using Restream, so I'm streaming to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So, oh, and my cousin and my auntie from California are online now, so they're watching. That's good. And I think what I'll do is, let me try to add another screen here quick for video capture device. One more for my face. MacBook camera. I hope this doesn't screw it up. Okay, there we go. And there we go. Whoa, that's really big. Didn't really want that on there, that big. Okay, let's take that down a little bit. There we go. Now I just have to move it so it's not in my chat. I guess more like that. Okay. That looks pretty good. The chat's really tiny though. I have to move it up a little bit. So if you want, do a quick sketch, and I'll do one here with you first to get you guys started, and then I can play around with my cameras and with the chat. But it's good to see everybody, and I'm glad I can do this on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So let me grab a pencil. Birdie, how have you been? How is school? Well, I guess you're doing online school, right? It rained here just about all of last week, and now it's supposed to rain. Well, I didn't think it was going to rain today, but it looks like it's getting cloudy again, like it's going to cloud up and rain. So to simplify this picture, all I did was I kind of put a high tree line in here. So a little more than halfway up, more than halfway up. Make sure you don't cut your page in half, but put it a little more than halfway up. And then I have the vineyard here. And I sort of just created, that's a little bit too funky, some lines to indicate the grapevines. And so I kind of want one here off of center that's indicates there's some grapes growing here in the foreground. And then over here are stakes that are holding up the grapes. Reseed like this, just to give you a visual. I'll put these stakes in. That always helps me figure out where the vines are, and they grow, you know, up here across the top, and they're really only visible the first, like really close up, and then it just goes into a highlight towards the back. And we'll put the shadow area here next to the vines. So, and then back here in the distance we have some nice scrubby, probably oak trees or something. So that's just you just barely want to scumble those in a little bit just to give you a little bit of direction. And then back here there's another hill like that with a little bit more scrub on it. I don't know if I really want to do too much on that. But we're going to make this like another vineyard in the back here, a little bit. And some more, maybe some more vineyard rows like that. So I've kind of eliminated this big, this is what I'm drawing, but I've made it a little bit smaller. And what I'm going to do is use this more. See, I've just kind of eliminated, I guess I've eliminated this part here and just combined. So these trees will be here, and this middle area is sort of taken out of there, and I've put this vineyard behind those trees, if that makes sense. I know it's hard to see. Let me put this on down low. Oops. This thing doesn't want to bend this way very much. There we go. Okay, so we've got our main horizon line, and then we have this little hill back here, and I've scumbled in here some trees right there, and a few back here. Okay, these are like oak, you know, oak trees. And then here, I'll draw them in there darker in pencil so you can see them. And then up here in front, and then these of course are the lines that indicate the vineyard here. And some grapevines up here in front. And some shadows. I'm going to check the chat here. I'm going to blow it up so I can see it. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, you love the sketching part? Okay. It makes it, the whole painting process, not look so hard to start. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to simplify it and make it better. And I know it's hard, especially for my auntie out in California, she says I go very fast. I paint very fast. So I'll try to zoom in more on the sketch, because I think that can be a lot harder for some people. If you don't get the sketch right, then it's kind of hard to do the rest of the painting. Classes. I know my son's taking online classes too. Oof. Oops. Let's see. You passed all your classes. Well, I knew you would pass all your classes, Bertie. That's a given. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to pull up my Twitch channel so I can see it easier on there. It's really hard for me to see the chat the size it is on the screen. I keep moving it around, sorry. Hold on, let me pull up Twitch. So Bertie, are you back home on the East Coast now? Okay, there we go. Now I can see the chat on Twitch, so it's better. Okay. And let me just get rid of this one because we don't need it here. All right. And I can put me back up here, and then when I zoom back out, you can see the palette. So just want to get, you can see the rest of the drawing. There we go. Boy, it's getting cloudy, like it's gonna rain again. We've had like 5 straight days of rain. Birdie, do you follow me on Instagram? Look me up on Instagram. I've been trying to learn it better. So I've been Instagramming a lot, trying to figure it out. It's kind of funny. I did my first live video this week on Thursday. And what did I paint? Oh, I painted a beach, kind of a beach thing. Oh. I didn't know home was in Minnesota for you. I thought home was on the East Coast. How did I not know that? Joe's from Minnesota. I got a message on my phone. Okay. All right, so how's the drawing coming? Is everybody comfortable with the drawing, sort of? So these are the scrubby trees. And there's some vineyards in the back. And then, I don't know, in my other photo I included the way back distant hills, which I think I'm not sure if I want to put those in or not. Maybe I'll just leave it sky and try to make it kind of, yeah, whatever. We'll just try to make it sky, I think. Or I could put, like, maybe a hillside coming down like that. They have a lot of those in Napa. Now it looks a little lopsided, maybe. All right, maybe we'll just do this. That's fine. This can be another vineyard back here. Oh, I can't believe that. Really, Birdie? Oh my gosh, we have to talk because I've been learning it. Go to, on YouTube, there's a series from a lady called Sue B. Zimmerman, and she has a YouTube series, The Instagram Expert. And she has so many videos on how to do everything on Instagram. So I've really been enjoying that. Because Instagram now has, well, they have the stories, and then they have Instagram Live, where you can video broadcast for 1 hour. And then they have Instagram TV, where you can, you know, upload videos. So there's a lot going on there. And I think people really like it. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, so how's everybody feeling about this drawing? You don't have to draw much for these kind of loose watercolors because most of your work is going to be in the watercolor itself. And I guess if I was good at doing vineyard grape leaves, I would do them better. But we're just going to see how this goes. It's supposed to be sketchbook practice, you know, like I did yesterday. So very loose. You can really choose the colors you want to work with. I kind of used a complementary palette here of violet and orange. The dark green but you can make it how you want. Just think about color wheel a little bit. I'll use the same thing here for demonstration purposes. So my auntie in California does a lot of cooking, and last week, I think it was last week, she had made blueberry vanilla cake or something. So I want to know what you've been cooking all week, Irene. That's her passion, is cooking. So she's always got something yummy. And today's Joe's cooking, so I'm gonna have a yummy dinner tonight for sure. Which he likes to make Sunday dinner, so he's all over it. All right, let's see. It sounds delicious. I know. Yeah. All right, let's see. So my cousin wanted me to sign up for Marco Polo today. So now I'm on Marco Polo. I wonder if she sent me anything. I guess I would get a notice because I've never used that before, but I did send her a message on there. Let's see if she's... Oh, she is on there. Huh. So how do I get... Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. All this technology, it's unbelievable. I sent her a whatever you call it when you send someone a message on on Polo, but I don't think I've gotten any notifications from her yet, so I'm not sure.
Hey Kathleen.
No.
I got you.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll start painting. Hey, Gak, how are you? Cheers. Nice to see you. Are you going to paint along with us, or? Oh, there she is.
Here I am, Carolyn. I'm painting with Mom.
Okay, here we go. Here's my cousin.
She's turned around. You can see yourself live. There you go. All right. There you go. You can see yourself.
Yeah.
This is what you look like to us.
Excellent.
Here we are. And the great thing about this is you can talk as long as you want. Nobody will interrupt you. And you can send it. You can make groups. I have a group with my siblings. It is just a fun thing. You know, I can send Brennan and find out. And then, you don't. You know, that's where technology is. You don't have to really communicate with anybody at all. You can just tell them everything you want and hang up. And they can look at it whenever they get ready. So,
Kathleen, you know I'm
Mom's backyard. Oh,
yeah, I'm broadcasting.
Anyway, Mom, say hi.
She did.
Hi.
Hi, Irene.
Can you see?
Yes,
Can you see
hello.
me?
Yes, I can. Hi. Hi, you guys.
Here's my new paintbrush.
Let me see.
New paintbrush. Guess
Oh,
where if I came from?
oh, nice.
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
It's a number
Let me see.
12.
a 12. Yeah,
You're not, see, if you don't see it, she doesn't see it.
it's a big one. It's a big one. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are ready to paint. Did you get your drawing done?
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, that's hysterical. Okay. So there's my Marco Polo. All right. That's my cousin and my auntie, and they're painting in Palm Desert, California. So that is, it is a good way for them to get together on Sunday, and it's noon for them, so they can do that. And Kathleen, you'll have to text me Irene's menu for the week, because I want to know what kind of cake she made and what she's been up to. So there we go. I'll keep my texts up. All right, let's start painting. Okay, so let's put in some sky color. Where did I put my paintbrushes? Woo! Here we go. And depending on the size of your sheet of paper. Now, this one that I did the initial sketch on is, you know, really small. So it's about, what, 5 by 6 maybe. And then this one's a little twice that size. It's a little bigger. So I'm using a size 12. Same brush as you have, Irene. And let's think about the sky color. I think I want just like a cobalt bluish, and then I'm going to put an underpainting of a very light yellow ochre. So I think I'll grab, yeah, I think I'll grab cobalt blue and just put that up here in the sky. And I might tissue out a little bit for clouds. And I don't mind if this hillside here gets a little bit wet, because I'm going to go right into putting in those hills with a little bit of yellow ochre. Just the faintest amount. I don't even want it that I don't want it strong. I want it very light. Lighter than you think you should. We're going to be going back over that with another wash. So we'll just let this come down the page. And I didn't really save much room on my palette for my yellow ochre, but maybe I'll keep it here. Oh. So there we go. A little yellow ochre on the palette. And let's get our vineyards going here. You can bring that all the way down. And I think I might play around just a little bit by adding a little of that lemony yellow with some cobalt and making a green. I wanted a little more blue than green. And I'm just gonna think about maybe dotting in a few of these vines back here while it's still wet. Let's try that just for fun. It's gonna run all over the place, but that's all right. That's my intention. And while I'm there, I'll add a little bit of green color for these trees. And we'll just let that kind of blend in there. Maybe as I get out towards these, I think I'll do it all the way across. Just leave a few spaces where you kind of dry brush across it and skip it, because this is already dried a little bit, and I like the way, you know, California has a lot of dry hillsides. So they kind of have that yellow ochre and then a little bit of that yellow ochre showing through the dried earth, and then the scrubby, whatever it is, sagebrush or scrub oak or whatever that's dotting along those hillsides. And I think what I'll do is add to that, I have a little bit of this, and I'm sorry you can't really see my palette too much right now, but I can lift it up. I have a little bit of this Cobalt Violet. Let me get a little more. There's hardly any on my palette. I used it yesterday when I was painting. It's a really pretty color. This is Holbein's, so it's kind of a light, it's a violet-y color. And if you don't have it, just use a little bit of red and blue mixed together, very light. And if you want to, you can add a tiny bit of white, titanium white paint or Chinese white or gouache to get it to do what you, to get kind of to this color. And that's, I know that's kind of tricky, but while this is still wet, I want to put into here just a little bit of that violet to define a little bit of those, just to suggest a little bit of something going on in those vines back there. And then I may run through it with my finger to disrupt it a little and give it a little edge. So these could be vineyard vines, or they could be, you know, lavender fields, really. Whatever you want. Yes. Is that where you went backpacking to, Birdie? I miss California too. You know, I lived there for almost, 19 years. And I lived in Orange County, San Diego, North San Diego County, Carlsbad, Oceanside, Sacramento, Ventura, all over. So it was great. I got to see a lot. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do while this is still wet is I may put in a little bit of ultramarine and a little bit of red, whatever red you have to get, and a little bit of actually that's too brown. I don't like that. I'm not going to use that. I was going to add a little more green, dark green for these trees in the background. So why don't we just stick with our cobalt blue, and we can use a little bit of yellow ochre to give them kind of a, I may just put a little bit of that there. I'm thinking I'm going to have to come back over this with another wash anyway, but I'll just scumble these in. I don't want it too heavy looking. And I kind of want to keep these separate. So it's in the background, so it doesn't have to be very dark at this point. But I guess in my other drawing I made these things back here kind of a focal point by making them really dark. Now, well, I may as well join them together now. Okay. And a few up here. Scumble those in along the hillside. And I noticed that this down below here could be a little darker. So we'll add a little bit more blue and green, but we'll keep it a little bit darker by adding more paint and more blue. Push it off into darker, a little more pigment. A little more blue, less yellow ochre. There we go. You like the way the trees are? Yeah, they're standing out. I might just touch an edge of these to make it a little softer on the top. And you can take a thirsty dry brush and kind of pull an edge out to give it a little bit of softness, and it pulls out a little bit of the paint, which gives you kind of like a tree branch look. Way back there. Sorry, I'm sniffling. I guess that my allergies have kicked up. All right. You can soften this edge down here on the bottom a little bit with just a thirsty brush again. Just drag it along the edge and let it soften up. So Irene got her new brushes. I sent her some brushes. We're liking these silver brush. Aren't they nice, Irene? All right, well, I'm going to use yellow ochre and do an underpainting on a very light yellow ochre across the foreground here. And just start on the top and work your way down. I don't want to get it so sopping wet that it's going to take forever to dry, but I want enough water on there. I think I'm going to blend in at the same time while it's wet some other colors, so possibly. I'm really just sort of experimenting and playing, so. All right, so that wash is in there, and it's, Kathleen's talking to me again. Okay, on Marco Polo. I did get a message this time. Yes.
Experimenting and playing, so. Alright, so that wash is in there.
Oh, she's showing me, wait. Wait, I want to see. Oh, there she is.
All right, here I am, Carolyn.
There you are.
Painting with Mom. And let me just turn it around. You can see yourself live. There you go. All right.
Oh, we already saw that. It gives me the message now? Or is that a new message? I'm so confused. I have no idea. I've never used a, hey Celery, how are you? I'm laughing because I'm trying to use Marco Polo for the first time with my cousin, and I'm not sure what I did. We're painting Sonoma, Napa and Sonoma, California vineyard images today. Selrig, what's new with you? So this is still a little bit damp, and I think what I'm going to do is maybe I go ahead and keep painting. Well, maybe I'll dry it off. Yeah, I guess I'll dry it off first. I'm going to try another technique, I think. So let me quick just turn the mic off for a second. Okay, I think that's good enough. So the foreground here is dry now, pretty dry. Dry enough, I think, anyway. So now if I follow my plan, I'll darken up the trees more back here in the background and leave some of those other colors showing through without disrupting them. And in the foreground here, I've used a combination of, you know, my lemon yellows and some lavenders and probably just cobalt blue mixed with you know, a little cool red color, alizarin crimson or the magenta. Sorry, Irene, I know you don't have those two colors, but you can use the reds that you have to make a purple with your cobalt blue and red. Probably would be the best. And just mix up a little pile of purple. More of a bluish purple than a than too much red, I would say. Let me get a scrap of paper. So this is a nice bluish purple that you can use with your, but first mix up some lemon yellow. And I think we'll put that in first and then we'll paint the purple around it. Kind of a lemony yellow mixed with a little, a tiny bit of blue to make a light green like this. And we'll put that in our fields. It's good to see all of you guys on Twitch. I haven't seen you in a long time because I haven't been on there. So the light green goes on the kind of the tops of where the vines are, where the grapes are growing here. And towards the back, you can just let that blur out a little. But we're just going to get a little, you can even mix a little yellow ochre into that green mix if you want, and dot it as you're going back into the vineyard here. And towards the foreground, you can make those edges kind of interesting by just putting some little brush tip marks here and there to suggest those grapevines. And you can splatter, you can do all kinds of things to get an interesting look on here. And there's always a grapevine or two that's really kind of sticking up from the crowd there, so we'll kind of put that in. And if you want, you can soften some of these edges towards the back because they kind of just run together. There's another one and another one. And over here, I think we'll just let that be kind of still. All right, now into that I'm going to run into the purple part. And these are some of the shadows along here from the other vines. I'm doing this pretty loosely. Here and there it's going to bleed in. Here's some of our shadow shapes. And I don't want to do the same thing everywhere, so we'll just come in and soften that a little bit. There's some more there. Just kind of play with it and have fun. It's hard to actually remember where is the shadow side and where is the highlight on top of the vines, and that's why I put those posts in there to remind you where the posts are, the highlights are to the right. If that helps or not, I don't know if that's going to help you or not, but as we get towards the back, we can go with a really dark, a dry brush full of your darker purpley color, very thick paint, and put in an edge along the tree line. And here I've added even a little bit of burnt sienna to that, just to darken up the tree line a little bit. And I'm just going to pull that up into the trees that are already there. A little bit of it, here and there, not the whole thing. And actually, before some of this dries, I want to make sure that I've got it set the way I want up here. I'm kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself. I don't want too much of that back there. Let's try a little bit of purple, a little more purple, red, and blue. Get some of these shadow colors a little darker. There we go. I don't think my cousin Judy got on, but I appreciate her sending me all these pictures from her backyard in Sonoma. What a fabulous place to have as a backyard. I think I'll just leave this area here kind of quiet. I think I'll just let it be like that. Maybe a little bit here. Has streaming with YouTube been good? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it seems like more of my friends are familiar with YouTube than Twitch. So that's one thing. Yeah, I mean, it's easier for me to say I'm live streaming on YouTube than Twitch. I think more people kind of get it, but I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that one. Oh, you wish you had a backyard? Yeah. I don't blame you, Birdie. It is nice to have a backyard. I have a backyard right now that's so big, it's too big. But, okay, let's see here. I need to I want to splatter some other colors on here before I get too... I used a lot of that light cobalt in the sky, so I kind of feel like I should, I'm going to splatter some purple on here to indicate these grapes a little bit, like that. Maybe drop a little bit of purple in here and there. And then I need to work some of that green in, so I'm forgetting about my... And again, I'm using mostly cobalt, so if I mix cobalt and the lemon yellow, and then to tone it down, because it's kind of I want more of a dark green, so I've added a little bit of burnt sienna to it. And I'll put a little bit of that green up in here. Where's my photo? Here we go. So maybe down here on this side of my vines, a little bit of green. And a touch here and there. These ones you don't really see it too much. And then I want to put in some indication of these. There's the stakes, you know, where they're staked up. And so if you just use a little burnt sienna for that, and don't make them all sticking up straight the same way. And to your burnt sienna, you can add a little bit of that purplish blue color to get a dark, so it doesn't just look brown. And I'll put a few stakes in there. Some of this is still wet, so the stakes are kind of blossoming a bit. That's all right. Make it expressive. Add a little bit of, and I think I might, well, that's still a little wet over there, but I was going to make like a little fence. Okay. That's drying pretty nicely so far. And, well, we have 2.5 acres here, Birdie. I'm in the woods. I told you before, I feel like green acres here. Green acres. And Irene and Kathleen have beautiful golf course and greenway views in the desert with fresh oranges and lemons and limes and dates and figs and grapefruit all over the place. It's amazing. I always said I was going to retire to Del Webb at Sun City, so it's almost time. Every Grapevine has character. You're so jealous. I know, me too, right? Yeah, a little character. This one over here needs a little more, you know, maybe a little bit of those vines here and there, kind of going every which way. And some of those you can, on top of this yellow that we've put under here, this light yellow green, you can create with a dry brush some indication of those vines going around. You can even mix your, to get a really light color, you can mix some white gouache with your yellow or green to get a variety. And also you can do that to make your lavender a different, if you don't have lavender, you can mix white with your cobalt and a little bit of, a tiny bit of a red color, and add white and come up with a lavender. I'm going to splatter a little bit more of this green in here. In fact, since I used the light blue in the sky, I'll show you what I can do with the white. If I want to, I can make a light color. I can darken up the sky if I want to, or I can bring some of that sky color up into here. And the hillside in the back I could darken in places too if I wanted to. I don't know if I want to. I can always add a little more lavender here and there to the hillside if I want. You can dot 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 with your paintbrush to add a little bit more. Whoops, that's a little dark. I'll just dry off the brush a little bit, and you can put some little purple dots to indicate, you know, some more textures going on back there down the hillside if you want to. And same thing here, maybe a little bit. I don't want too much. Oh, it's gonna rain. It's thundering outside. Unbelievable. What female person artist in her best years would think about such a catastrophe? What? You have a little cactus named George? Oh no. Celebrate. Are you talking about me painting on YouTube? I know. Setting up all these cameras and lights and streaming services and streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, right? It is kind of crazy, but you know what? I do have a plan. In my later years when I can't get out and about, at least I can sit home and chat with people and paint and, you know, have a good time. Or it's a good time for me anyway. So I think in this background I may add a tiny bit of, let's just see how this looks. Oh, that's too cutesy. A little bit more blue back there. It's just a little bit too cutesy for me. It's not going to work. I could add a little burnt sienna maybe. Let's see what that looks like. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I can add a little burnt sienna along these rows, which kind of indicates the fencing along the, it's not really a fence, it's what do you call it, that holds up the vines, like the posts and the whatever they use, I don't know, wire. So a little bit of burnt sienna to indicate those, yeah, the fence. And I think I'm going to, instead of bringing some of that blue up here, I think I'm going to go ahead and put a darker sky in the background. I think I like it better dark. So I'm going to just glaze over it with, in fact, turn your paper, I'm just going to pick up this painting. Turn your paper the opposite way and let me take this off of here. So you can do the sky. So this is a good lesson on doing a glaze over. So the reason I'm turning it upside down is so the paint will run this way. And you can just get it wet first and then go over it very lightly, get it wet. And then you can go over it with a very slight. See how the purple is just glazing over my mix of purple? And that's about all I want on there. It doesn't have to cover it completely. It's just going to give it another shade of color. And I can look at it and decide if I think I want any more on there or not. You only want to do a glaze on top of another color like this if it's completely dry. Otherwise, it won't lay on top, it'll mix. But I think that's all I need there. I'm not allowed to do it if I'm a Twitch affiliate? To stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time? I had no idea. Really? Is that true? Wow. I keep getting in trouble online. I'm in trouble on YouTube too because they hear music on my stream that even though I Google royalty-free music, they still they flag me once in a while. So no, I didn't know I'm not supposed to do that. So what should I do about that? No, I had no idea. I'm surprised no one else has told me. Of course, there hasn't really been that many Twitchers in my stream. So, oops, I don't like that. I'm not going to put that there. And just a little more dry brush back here. Oops, it's not the right color. I thought I was doing Twitch a favor by streaming on both instead of just giving up on it. Guess they'll speak up if they want to. They want my content? Maybe. Well, I don't know if they would really want my content that much. But if I was a big streamer, then it would make, I could understand it, but well, if that's the case and you're not supposed to, then I'd have to decide. What about if I just did Instagram TV or Instagram Live? I can broadcast for 1 hour. So you want my content. Oh, if I want to be a partner. Well, that's probably not going to happen. I don't have that many viewers. And I don't, I'm only streaming on Sunday. And then I did Instagram Live, I did on Thursday at 3 o'clock. So maybe I could do that. But yeah, there's so many different streaming services now that are calling for your attention. And Instagram Live is really popular, don't you guys think? Have you all been doing that? I guess Birdie, you you're only here for the art. Cellrig, you didn't even know it existed? Yeah, Instagram's really coming on strong, I'm telling you. It's been strong for a while, and I wasn't really aware of it that much either. But yeah, if you get an Instagram account, and you can follow me there too, because I post a lot. I'm starting to post more, but if you like the art videos. This is kind of a weird color palette that I have. It's not really, I may have to darken up my hills in the back. It's that they just don't, they're not reading right to me, but Kathleen, send me a picture. I wonder how Irene's doing. I'd love to see her, what she's painted. It may be, I'm looking for my color wheel. Here it is. It's behind my painting. Yeah, I have a weird color thing going on here right now. It's kind of like this. Or this. And what happened is I added this yellow your really yellow green. So I think the thing to do would be call it a violet painting and go green and orange. And then the yellow makes sense. So I think if I put more violet, like my other one. Oh, Kathleen's talking to me again on Marco Polo. Here we go. Let's see what she says. Maybe she sent me. Hello. Oh, there's Irene's painting.
Oh, that's right. She can't open Marco Polo.
No, I can.
Video.
No, I am. I am opening it. Oops.
I gotta help.
Oops.
I'm really just sort of experimenting and playing, so.
Hi, Kathleen. Can you hear me?
All right, so that blush is in there, and it's Kathleen's. Hello.
Hello. I'm not sure which one to press. This is so funny.
Oh, there's Irene's.
There's a big lag in time, a time difference.
I don't know what I did now.
No, I can't. No, I am.
I know.
I am opening it. Oops.
Kathleen, I see. I'm not sure which button I'm supposed to push on here.
Hi, Kathleen. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hysterical. God.
Not sure which one to press. This is so funny. I'm really just sort of experimenting and playing.
I'm not sure if one of these is live or not, so.
All right, so that blush.
Okay, well, I'm going to turn that off because I'm not sure which, if there's one that's live or if it's all pre-recorded. So, anyway, back to the color wheel. When in doubt, go to the color wheel. So, if we want to do a violet and yellow painting, you know, we can look at our complements here on either side. So, the thing is I think these values in the back just need to go darker. It's just too light. So we're going to go over those with a little bit of purple wash too and see how we do. It might work, it might not. But I'll mix up just a light purple. Kathleen, I wasn't sure which button to push on your polo there, so I'm just gonna put in some shadows on these hills and hope that I don't totally ruin this, but I might. There's no guarantees, unfortunately. I just want them to be a little darker. And I'll skip around in some places so that you know, like I said, the yellow ochre of those hillsides can be in there. There, I kind of like that. And then I think what I'll do is I'll darken up these trees as well with a nice dark blue and green at the same time. Just a dark mix, and put that back there to indicate some of those trees. Maybe use the side of my brush. And ooh, it's thundering outside. Scumble in a few little tree shapes. like to take my scruffy brush and pull out some edges. Or you can smush it into your palette like I'm doing here. And create some nice shapes on the edges. You can also scrape with your finger if you want to scrape out some paint. There we go. And dry brush along the edge. Uh-oh. This is my neighbor. I'll tell Joe to call him. Hold on, kids. Mature people figure out the internet. Hold on. Joey D. Jerry Mobley just called him. I couldn't pick up the phone. Did you call him? Did you hear me? He called me. But I can't talk to him right now. So can you call him? I smell something burning in here. It isn't. Okay, goodbye. Sorry for the interruption, kids. That's my neighbor looking for Joe. Okay. I see this in the background here. It's looking a little heavy, so I'm just going to dot out a little bit of that with the tissue here and there. There we go. And I think I might throw in a little bit of splatter back there to break some of that up. I'm not happy with that shape. Oh well. It is a group of trees, that's all I can say. I guess I can make one side lighter. Maybe that'll break it up a little bit. We'll see how that works. I'm just trying to soften a few of his edges. Kind of. All right. I think I'll put a few birds in for Birdie. Okay, I want to see what you guys are chatting about because you're having lots of fun over here and I missed some of it. So, Mixer seems artist friendly, can even draw nudes if they're not to whatever makes people afraid of them. Oh, Mixer? Yeah, I don't like Mixer. I don't know that much about it, but Mixer's not one of the ones I'm in. Mature people figure out the internet. Don't make me pull a creeper. Oh my gosh. I just opened my first beer, Birdie. I think it's time for a spritzer, honestly. No, I don't know. Joe's cooking a massive dinner tonight. I hate to even tell you because it's one that's going to be enviable and memorable. Okay, let's see if... Oh, look at what she... Oh, painting with dessert and coffee. I know, Irene, I gotta show everybody what she made. Now, what is this? Is that strawberry shortcake? That's like one of my favorite things ever. This is what Irene baked. Oh, is that real whipped cream and strawberries and shortcake? Wow. Look at that. They did this to me last week too, but it was blueberry. Oh, look at her painting. Wait a minute. Oh, look at that. Irene, I love it. It's awesome. Look at how beautiful. You did a good job. I don't know how anybody, whoops. I don't know how anybody even follows me on this thing because I paint fast, I talk fast. Look at that. Is that your second one or did Kathleen do one? I love these fields. The texture of them is really cool. And this one too. That looks the same, like it could be Irene's. That's pretty cool, Irene. Very nice. And now are you going to have dessert? Time for cake? All right, let me put my birds in. My birds. I want more of a black-brown kind of bird. So use a little burnt sienna and yeah, that's good. If you want, Irene, on your painting, you can add a little bit of, you know, a little bit of detail for those vines, like this, up towards the, you know, the foreground here can be a little more, have a little more detail in there, like this. My tummy's growling. Hey Sarah, are you here? Wow, you made it! Hey! My Siri just heard me. Turn that off. Sarah, I'm having such a crazy stream today. It's just, Zelrig told me that I'm not supposed to stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Is that true? You're just a trophy mod. Oh my gosh. Well, happy Sunday, Sarah. My painting's not working out very well. I got kind of into a weird color mess here. But anyway, we were doing Sonoma. And so we're painting the vineyards. And I have several pictures here from my cousin who lives up there. And so this is our reference photo. And I wasn't trying to paint it exactly like the reference, but just to do a little sketchbook study, which I kind of like my sketchbook study, but I feel like this one got away from me a bit. I don't know. I'm gonna sign it and you forgot it was Sunday until now? I can stream wherever I want. Only some partner contracts say you can't because you owe 24-hour exclusive content to Twitch. Oh, okay. I don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Okay, good. We'll wait until I'm super famous and then they can all fight over me, right? Instagram and YouTube and Twitch. I want to put in a few more of these fence posts. maybe. Ooh, it's thundering outside. Yeah, I'm not happy with this green color back here. I guess I should just tone it down as well. Maybe I should have put a second wash on there. Partner doesn't make a huge difference these days because of affiliate. Oh. I would imagine partners get more, a little more something, right? Maybe put a few more dark shadows in front of here. So I think I'll glaze over this hillside with a little bit of yellow because the color is not it's not making me feel good. So I don't know if this is going to help or make it worse, but I'm glazing over with yellow. Maybe I'll add a little yellow ochre to it instead of just the lemon yellow. Ooh. I really could be getting myself in trouble. But there we go. I'm not sure if that helped or not, but anyway. That's cool. I'm going to take the tape off of this. Now, I was going to sign it. Oh, Poppy Balser. Yes, I don't know her personally, but I know she's out in Washington or Portland or somewhere out there. She's a good painter, and she does a lot of plein air painting too. I'm friends with her on Facebook. Yeah. Such a good painter. Wait, I know you. Selrig, you're funny. Okay, let me get a signature on here. Let's see. I don't really like any of the colors that I use, so this is a strange color palette. I'm just going to sign it with this and maybe splash a little bit of that in there for some of these grapes and call my Napa Valley here. My sketchbook done. All right, let's take some tape off. So Sarah, what are you up to today? It looks like you were playing around with watercolor earlier. Oops, I have to scroll up. Tons of plein air. You're doing stuff like Maddie does. Oh, that's right. I saw you doing a huge oil painting. Okay. Yeah, my studio is an absolute mess. It is a big mess. All right, so there's that one. I'm not very happy with it, but I like my sketch better, which is often the case. So, let me grab a... I'm just gonna try to grab a mat. That one's the wrong size. No, I'm not liking it. I don't like this color back here. I'm gonna destroy it. When in doubt, destroy. Too many weird greens and yellow in this. You can feel the sunshine. You like the bigger one? I just went into it with purple and I can't stand it, Sarah, so it's a goner. There we go. I don't like that color. I'm not a huge fan of green to begin with, so if I get some greens going on, all right. There you go. Not good, not good. Let's move on and do a fun one. You do this all the time. Yeah. I'm not liking it. Okay. I like the vines in the front part, but not the rest of it. Okay, so I have this one, which is beautiful. This one will be a lot more fun, I think. So what I usually do, and I'm sure you do this too, Sarah, is I figure out a nice, there's lots of different ways to, you know, crop this down. And I'm kind of liking this right here. So I think what I'll do is a quick, very quick sketch in the sketchbook of this, and then I see this big shape here that I like, and this middle shape, and then this big shape on top. So if I just focus on those, it should be a nice composition, I think. No. I do this all the time. I usually throw it across the room. You're not good as my beautiful. No. You just take a brush and make circles over it. Whatever, it's just studies. That's right, it's just Sketchbook Sunday, right? Get in your sketchbook and have fun. Where is my sketchbook? Oh. Okay, so these little studies I did yesterday. See how fun they are? They kind of got really wild with the color too. But I was working from another picture that I actually don't have printed out right now. I think I was working from my computer because my cousin sent me all these beautiful images. But here's one that's kind of similar. It's so pretty up there. Have you been, Sarah, to Sonoma, Napa area in California? You would love it. Don't need to be attached to these. No. Let's see what else I have in here. If I have anything. Well, that's a Tuscany study that I did. And these are little Tuscany studies that I did. I don't remember when, last week sometime. And then this one's nice. These I did on Mother's Day. Well, no, last week. Mother's Day, I don't know, we did some flowers. So let's go ahead and do this one, I think, if we want. and maybe I'll do it in my sketchbook as a really quick study. So let's see if I can pull my camera out here a little bit and keep that in the picture. Sarah, it's good of you to come on today. I wasn't expecting that. You're so prolific and so, you have such a strong work ethic that it's amazing how much work you do. So I'm just gonna do a little thumbnail of this quickly. So we've got some lavender here in the foreground, and then we've got a little more shape right in here. It goes, this sticks up above it a little bit on this side. And I don't even know if I'll put any of these other flowers in here. This lavender is here. And then we have this umbrella. Sarah, my sketching probably would drive you crazy because I don't do detailed sketches. I just put in enough information to get the watercolor, whatever I need, you know. And then towards the background, oh, behind here are all these lavender bushes. Look at, I've got paint all over my hand. They're just back here behind, and then there's like a different silvery bush here. And I'm gonna have to change that shape a little because I can't have it all looking the same. All right, and then beyond that is just, you know, maybe here I can have another light kind of colored shape of that, those tall grasses. And it's funny that this umbrella is sitting in the middle of this field. So maybe, I don't know. I'll just figure out if I want to do anything. Maybe I put a chair there. I think there might be a chair there, but 2 chairs and an umbrella, no people. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I better put a person in there. There's like some guy maybe working out in the lavender field here. Maybe he's talking to a buddy. There we go. And this guy's sitting down here enjoying his vino. So that's it. And then back here, I don't know if I want to, it's just all like woods, but maybe I'll just simplify it into, I don't know. I think sky would be pretty, but we'll see what happens. I'm looking at the chat. I have to look at my other screen because if I pull up, I'm using Restream, Sarah, so if I pull up the chat in my browser, it's really tiny, and I'd have to like blow it up all over my other screen to see it. So I'm just watching the chat on my Twitch channel on my other laptop. This technology stuff is not easy. Yeah, some people don't sketch on watercolor paper, and they have great results with that too. So it just depends what you like. I'm going to throw in a little bit of warmth there underneath this lavender. And up in here, I'm sorry you can't see my palette right now. I'm kind of just doing a quick little bit of lavender there, a little bit of green there. If I zoom in closer, yeah, I think I like that there. I usually have the other cameras up on my palette. I mean, on my palette and my other screens at the same time, Sarah. But today I don't. I just have the one camera, and then my face cam is the laptop. So it's I can zoom out and you can see more of my palette, but actually it's a little bit dark in here today. Okay, usually I'm shutting the shades because there's too much sunshine coming in the afternoon, but not today. These things here are kind of a blue, like a periwinkle color. They come all the way across this painting. Sarah, I'll bet you you probably don't even watch a lot of Twitch live streams, because I know you're working a lot. Maybe in the background you do, in order to get work done. Otherwise it's hard. And lately on Instagram, with the Instagram lives, I mean, and stories, between that, it's hard to get any work done. I'm just standing at a big desktop. Yeah, I really like the watercolor that you did when you were out plein air painting. The one that you did in the square format with the flowers. And then you painted, I forget, outside the square, or I don't remember. It was interesting the way you framed it anyway. So I'm using a lot of cobalt here with cobalt blue and cobalt violet. Some of these here are a little more, I don't know if I want to bring them down a little more into the foreground. Not too much, just a little. That's nice. And then I think I'll make this umbrella kind of an orangey, cat orangey color. I would love to be sitting in a vineyard right now, sucking up some Napa. In fact, if I call JoJo, you know what, Sarah? You've never met JoJo, I don't think. It's time for you to meet him. Yeah, I hear you. Hold on. Joey D, somebody wants to meet you in here. Come in, I want you to meet someone. And I could use a spritzer. My chef is coming in. Sarah, this is JoJo.
Hi.
He's cooking his Sunday dinner. He's Italian, so we don't miss a Sunday dinner here. And I always tell him, he always says, when do you want to eat? And I always say, after my stream. So today he's cooking.
We'll be ready.
Sarah's in Scotland.
Wow.
So there you go. I'll have a spritzer now.
All right.
Thank you. If I'm nice and good during the week, he'll bring me a spritzer, which is my Pinot Grigio mixed with club soda. So there we go on that. You can hear the ice in the background. And then, oddly enough, on this one, I feel like I would like a light color green in the background. I'm almost afraid to put anything back there. Maybe I'll just leave it as a vignette. So I have these gentlemen back here in the field, and I don't know, maybe I'll just make them brown. I'll just mix the same cobalt with a little bit of the orange and give them a grayish greenish. At least one of them. Maybe one will be more blue. We'll give them a purple. They're working in the lavender field.
There you go.
Thank you. Wow, that's service. So there we go. So today we were talking about Instagram, Sarah, because don't ruin the landscape with humans. Good advice, probably. In fact, I made them too big back there now anyway, so I'll just chop their heads off. No big deal. Cheers, everybody. Time for a sip. The return of the spritzer. Yeah, unfortunately, the spritzer's never really gone away. It's pretty good. A little club soda and Pinot Grigio on ice. All right, now let's see here. Okay, we need some splatter in this painting, so let's add a little more of that texture to these. Oops. My splatter's kind of a little bit there. And maybe we'll get this little table in. All right, time for me to think about the sky. I think I'll just kind of I do sort of like this cobalt blue, so maybe I'll just throw some of that back there. It seems like right now with this virus that you could just spend all day really watching videos of some really fabulous painters paint. I've seen a few, but I tend to miss a lot of them too. See, my light is causing a huge reflection on that. Let me zoom in a little so you can see it better. No, that's not really too much better. Maybe it's a little better. I better check the chat. Don't do that though. What colors are on my palette? Well, I just updated my palette because it was really a mess. So like 3 weeks ago I rearranged the whole thing. It's basically the same colors, but I just rearranged them a little bit better. Here, I'll show you my palette. Let's see. I should have my other camera on. Sarah, I apologize because my other camera, I had a palette camera set up. Let's see. I'll just scroll this over a little. And then you can see, sort of. Let's turn this a little. Let me get my face out of the way here. All right. So I have it's kind of shadowy. I don't know why. But I have back here, I have Holbein's Lavender, and then Cobalt Violet, Phthalo Blue. This is this is Indie Blue. This is Indie Blue, then Ultramarine, then Cobalt, then Cerulean, then this is Sky, I think it's called Sky Blue. Wait, let me check. No, it's Horizon Blue. Then I have Cobalt, or Turquoise. It's Cobalt Turquoise Light. That's a Winsor Newton. Then I have an extra spot for Cad Lemon, or Lemon Yellow. This is Sap Green, and this is Viridian. And then I have the same Lemon Yellow. I have Aurelian. This is Naples Yellow. This is Cad Orange. This is Hansa Yellow. This is Cad Orange, I think, or Permanent Orange, one or the other. Yellow Ochre, Raw Sienna. This is like a Cad Red. This, I was trying a red that I haven't learned how to use it yet. I don't really like it. I was trying to find a replacement for Alizarin Crimson, but this is Pyrrole Red, I think, Daniel Smith. This is Quin Magenta or Permanent Magenta. Sometimes I put Permanent Rose in here too, if I need it. This is Burnt Sienna, and that's Burnt Umber. So that's my palette. You usually hate yellow. In what way do you hate yellow? I like Naples yellow a lot. I don't use it a lot, but I like it a lot. And I usually use yellow ochre more than anything. And if you thin it out enough, you can get a really nice barely there yellow. In fact, that's what Alvaro will do that a lot, and so will Joseph. Barely there, underpaintings. So, okay, so my guy's sitting here in amongst the vineyards there. I will put him with a little I want to make him dark, like purpley. We'll make him stand out here, maybe, at this table. We'll give him some friends to hang out with. I don't know, just put something on there. And a few more of these splotches around there. We'll give him some heads and faces, maybe. There we go. I think these guys back in the field, I don't know, I might just put them back there a tiny bit. A tiny bit here or there. Working in the fields, the lavender fields. When I was married, we got married in Calistoga, and it was such a, I mean, that area is just so gorgeous, because we were living in Sacramento at the time, so it was only like an hour and a half, maybe an hour for me to get to Napa, Sonoma. And then when you're in Napa, it'll take you 45 minutes to drive to Calistoga because of the tourist traffic. Oh, okay, you just don't like it. Yeah, that's like me with greens. I'm not a green person. I like all the cool colors, everything cool. You know, and to go with them, I usually just use yellow ochre or burnt sienna to mix with them. So, all right, let's see. What else do I want to do to this? I guess I could put a... Do I have a light source? I'm looking for shadows in my image. It's kind of, the sun is directly overhead, so there's not like a huge shadow shift there, so I don't know. I guess I can kind of put some kind of little blue shadow underneath this umbrella, maybe. And I'm not sure what else it needs. Maybe a little more darkness down in the foreground where it's coming forward, down in here, with some detail and some dark value. Maybe that's supposed to pull you up into the scene over there. Splatter a little bit of paint on there. And I think we need a little more green behind to indicate some of these. Oh, it's a little too bright. Knock it down with some yellow ochre. Some of these things. That's kind of cute. I kind of like Sundays because Joe knows I'm going to be streaming, and if he wants to eat, he has to make Sunday dinner, so it gives me an excuse to paint. How do you like that? Yeah, I don't know what else I would do to this except I feel like this back here is really plain now. Maybe smear that up a bit. Maybe put a little bit more orange here as a, woo! It just occurred to me that you can't even see what I'm doing right now. So I'm talking you through it and you can't even see what I'm doing. Forgot to turn the camera back. Normally I don't have to worry about that because like I said, I have 3 cameras going. Sorry. Oh, see you, Birdie. It was nice to see you in the stream today. Have a great day. I'm going to keep double streaming, so maybe we'll see you again. Put this. Sarah, I swear, if you're still there, sometimes I make my studio life here difficult by trying to be too high tech, and I don't remember exactly why I went to one camera instead of, oh, I think it was for my Instagram stream. That's why I went to, sorry, I'm going to pull this over more. That's why I went to one camera. Or no, I was having trouble with my sorry. Anyway. I was having trouble with my second camera. On OBS, it like shows up, it doesn't show up, and then I have to go into the settings and keep trying to mix the cameras around, and it's not easy. Well, there, I kind of like that, this cute little sketch. But I feel like the sky back there is a little bit like it needs something. So maybe I'll just put some more. There. That helps. Now I'm satisfied with it. It will cause you to drink spritzers on Sunday. The camera is a bit blurry, is it? You know, today for some reason, even though I have like all this lighting in here, it kind of, is that better? I don't know. I need to pull my camera, my light, maybe a little more. Maybe it's blurry because it's so close. I moved it way up. That's just the way my painting looks. It's blurry. How's that? It's not focusing on the right spot still? Maybe it's too close. Oh my God. This is technology, I swear. It's like, is it any better? Selrig says, there we go. My painting's kind of a little bit of a, you know, it's just I don't do anything too realistic. Everything's kind of, you know, everything's kind of a little bit of a mess. If I throw this on here, can you see it? Okay. I'd have to really zoom out for you to see this one, Sarah. And this is the one that I did on Instagram Live on Thursday, which was kind of fun. But, you know, I started Sketchbook Sunday because I like to just open my sketchbook and play around. And then people started to chime in, and I felt like I needed to kind of do some instruction. So it's been a little bit of that. Actually, a lot of that. I feel like the need to get people in and do some teaching. And where was I going with that? Oh, I was looking for my sketchbook. Well, who knows where my little one is. But my little one has some cute sketches in it. And so I was just going to use Sunday for sketchbook practice. And, you know, now I feel like I have to kind of have a little lesson plan or an idea somewhere to go with them. This is a different sketchbook. Oh, it's not very good. Some of these are. Where is my little one? My Sketchbook Sunday one that I started. My studio is such a disaster right now. I can't find it. But anyway, it was a good idea. It's just now gone into more of a little bit more formal than I want, because, you know, when you're playing in your sketchbook, you want to be able to experiment and have fun. And when you're teaching people things, you feel like you need to, these are some colors I was checking out. A lot of people use green gold, opera, buff titanium. Look at this Turner deep indigo. Isn't that pretty? And of course, indanthrene, the indie blue, is one that I really like to use to get a dark without going to God, why can't I think? Without going to a ultramarine. And these were little sketches that we did a few weeks ago. Doing some pen and ink studies. You love the flowers? Which ones were they? Did I show you flowers? I don't remember. This one I ended up doing a large painting of, a half sheet size, for the Watercolor Society of North Carolina for our regional show. And I never entered it in the show because I wasn't perfectly happy with it. I entered a different one, and it turned out okay. but I still have the other one. Now I don't know if I'll ever use it, but I should go over there and sell it. It's in one of our small towns here in North Carolina. That's me trying to do calligraphy lesson. See, here's another picture of it. Sketchbook practice, I think, is so much fun. But sometimes for me it's hard to do it online because I don't feel like I necessarily have the freedom. I mean, I guess I could do it just on Twitch, just as a daily thing, just hanging out and doing it, but I don't think it's that much fun for other people without a reference and, you know. Anyway. Well, I wish I had my other sketchbook to show you, but I'm kind of happy with this one. What we could do is take this and turn it the other way and make a vertical. In fact, a long skinny vertical of this would be kind of cool. This is nice too, right here. And then this is where my cousin lives. I'll show you. It's kind of a big picture. Did I print a smaller one? There we go. So I thought this is a great image to do another painting of. You meant in my current sketch. Oh, this one? Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm not sure what it needs as a finished painting. You know, I'd really have to zone in on what is the center of interest, because right now there's a little conflict between these guys and these guys and this stuff. And I really love the flowers, so maybe those guys would have to be toned down a little. That's the tricky thing about art. It's always, what is your intention and what are you gonna do with that? There. Now it's more about this, not about that. And the same thing with these guys in the background. They're a little too prominent. It's kind of about the flowers. And then what I would do is highlight those a little more with, I would give them a little more detail, right? Right here. And they almost look like, well, what they are is sage or some kind of sage, I think. So you could even, I would not put yellow in there like that. No, 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 no. Get that out of there. They're really that just really beautiful blue. Mix it with a little bit of Quin Violet and blue and get that beautiful Russian-y sage color on there. Sarah, are you familiar with Eugene Kisnichian? I think is the way you pronounce it. He is one of my very favorite painters, watercolor painters in the world. And when I went to China with the Watercolor Society a couple years ago, we were painting in an old village in the south of China, and guess who was there? Eugene. He was there, I think, teaching in a workshop, and we all met at the port, the old Chinese village with the fishing boats, and he was there painting. Now these look like irises, which that's okay. I just... It can be whatever you want it to be. But I always say one of the things I'd love to do is go to Moldova and paint with him there in the mountains. So he's got, it's very pretty. It's very pretty there. Yeah, any more green in here? I don't know. Maybe down here. That's it. Limited palette is the best advice for watercolor, I think. Stick to a limited palette. I don't always do it right, that's for sure. I just felt my spritzer just got water all over my my image there. I'll have to reprint part of that. Yeah. All right. Well, I really like this house, so I'll probably work on that next time. Oh, how do I spell it? Let me look it up for you. It's hold on. Yeah, you spell it Chisnicean, and his name is Eugene Kisnich. I think it's Kisnichian. My Polish Russian friend told me how to pronounce it, and I think that's how you pronounce it, Kisnichian. And he's just unbelievable watercolorist. He's got some DVDs out. One is Painting in the Carpathians. He's just got a beautiful style. And you'll see there's some videos out there on YouTube. Not too many of full paintings, but a few. His name is Eugene, and his girlfriend's name is Eugene also. Yevgenia. Eugenia, whatever, Yevgenia. Yeah, he's in with all the Chinese artists in China. He's got a nice following there, you know, as does Alvaro and Herman and Joseph Zbavitel and all those guys. Yeah. All right, I think I'm just going to draw another little study while I'm sitting here. Maybe we do, let's see. Maybe I do a tall one this time of this. No, I wish I would have made it bigger. Of this little house. Oh, I really wanted to get the porch in there. I didn't do that very well. Well, maybe that's enough. And there's a little door here. And then the path. Put a little, there's a little chimney there. Need a new pencil. Let's go back to my Twitch. Oh, you missed how you okay, so it's CHISNICIAN. Nicean. Here, let me grab, let's see. Let me grab the Control C, put it here. I can do this, Sarah. There, now you've got it. I haven't used Twitch in so long that I forget how easy it is to just post something on there for you. He paints a lot with well, he uses a lot of different brushes, but I do notice that he'll take a Chinese brush like this, and he does a lot of his they're not really washes. They're just he just incorporates it into his painting. His washes are very they're fluid, but they're also very how do you say, intentional, you know? And he uses kind of a long brush for some of those. It's just practice, but it's interesting. It's got a very nice style to it. I was looking for a pencil. So there's some irises here again, and some shadows across the foreground, and then I may even put this tree going across here, and a few things hanging down from that. So let's do a quick study on this. So many beautiful things in this image that I don't even know where to start. Well, I want to put this in here. There we go. That's a nice underpainting. And let's go ahead and just keep going on this. There's a lot of light color in here for these irises. And over here along the path, I'll just do a little bit of, just for the fun of it, a tiny bit of opera. Yeah, he's totally amazing, Sarah. I mean, he's like... And you know, when I saw him in China, I about fainted. I'm like, oh my God, Eugene is here. And we were at the opening of a show, a watercolor. Well, it was, I don't know, it wasn't an opening, but it was like the Grand Master of Chinese watercolor at this really cool place. And the Grand Master's sitting there and everybody's waiting to go up to get his autograph. And I'm like, oh my God, Eugene's here. And Joe is like, what is wrong with you? And he's like getting all jealous because he's thinking, I don't know what. I mean, I'm almost 60 years old, and Eugene's like, what, maybe 30? So I'm like, Joe, get over it. And he's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, Eugene's here. It was unbelievable. And he's like, get it together. And so I finally went up and introduced myself to him. But, yeah, he was speaking English, you know, really good. But I could tell he was a little bit nervous about being there and meeting people and speaking English. It was pretty cute, honestly. And I should turn my... So anyway, that's my funny story about meeting him. But No, I said, Eugene, I said, I want to come to the Carpathian Mountains and paint there. And he goes, there's no chance for a workshop there. Nobody wants to come there. It's too far. He goes, I don't have the interest there. And I'm like, but you do. I mean, you could. I mean, if you assembled the workshop there, people would come. Trust me, people would come. You know, so I don't know, maybe sometime. Maybe sometime it could happen. Get back to my little sketch here. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to figure out here. So this house, there's light on the house. I don't know, her roof is like a little... This side's a little more... It's got a little bit of that kind of going on. I'm just doing this very quick and just don't even care. I'm just putting in stuff. Whoa, that's a little bit strong. Okay. To indicate the house. And there's lots of greenery and junk back here. Oh, I hate that color green. Okay, let's just tone it down a little. Get my tree branch in there. And I love these irises again right here in the front of the yard are just spectacular. And this is where my cousin lives. Can you believe it? She's retired. She was a designer for, well, she had her own interior design shop. And she's originally from Oklahoma, but she won a scholarship to the San Francisco, to the Art Center. And she ended up being very good at making models, and she actually helped design Donald Trump's penthouse in New York. And she is now retired, and she lives in Santa Rosa. And she sent me these beautiful images of her garden. Oops, I don't like that blue in there. I'm going to put it back down to this. I like the idea of a purple shadow. I don't know why. I'm just painting very intuitively and kind of letting it roll. Ooh, those are bright colors. Let's get some burnt sienna back here on the house. And this is all in shadow back here, so I don't have any ultramarine. It's gone from my palette, so I probably should get some on there. I'll just put a little bit of that there, and a tiny bit over here for this, and I'm gonna noodle around with this burnt sienna on the treetop here for my little sprigs of trees. And let's get this going back. And I need some ultramarine. I'll just grab the rest of this tube of Da Vinci Permanent French Ultramarine Red shade. I have no idea, but anyway, I'm going to use it up. Put it in my palette. So Sarah, what's going on there? It's really late where you are, right? Oh, you got caught up looking at his work. Oh, I don't blame you. He's really good. Yeah. Eugene. Yevgeny. Let's see, what do I want to do with this? Okay, so I don't know. I'm just messing around. And maybe a little bit of this. A little splatter there. And I don't know, I'm gonna just, ugh, I don't like that. Get that out of there. I need some, I guess what's going on over here on this side is a little bit of something along that walkway. And there's a little bit of darkness. Back in here. Let's throw that in. Whoa. So yeah, Eugene. Yeah, he's pretty amazing. If you get a chance to paint with him. You know, the thing about workshops though is it's nice to see them all paint, but you can almost just watch their videos and then practice. It's more about practice than it is anything else. And I know I've been to a lot of workshops, but that's only because, you know, when you're a new painter, you want to learn, and you have vacation time when you're working another job or whatever, you want to go on a workshop for some fun. And it's not always about going there to learn. You know, you're just going there to spend more time on with your paintbrush. And that's what I've done. You're not gonna you'll learn some new things and you'll have more time spent with your brush. There, I think that's pretty good, and then I would just go back and do I would do some dry brush details on that and call it done. I don't know what that shape is. Maybe there's a door back there. Trying to look at my cousin's house here to see. So yeah, I miss California after living there for so long. I'm gonna look at my stream here. Oh, I love painting outside. I really do, and I really love painting in the city. That's my thing that I really like. My first watercolor workshop was painting with Alvaro Castanet in San Diego. That was my very first watercolor workshop. And yeah, we painted downtown in the city. We painted at the beach because the beach is right there. We painted I gotta think, near the Catamaran Resort, which is where we stayed. And we painted at Balboa Park, which I have one of his paintings from Balboa Park that I really loved. And yeah. But yeah, I love plein air painting. I have about 3 different groups that go here in Raleigh all the time, and we're coming off the winter here, so there'll be more opportunities for the summer to go out. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And of course I do a lot of the plein air events that are here in Raleigh. There are a couple online right now that one, well, I wasn't signed up for it because I was signed up for a different one, which has been postponed until now, October, I think. Hopefully we won't have a hurricane, which will interfere, but hopefully we won't have that. This is a little too heavy there. So I'm gonna get my, anyway. That's just a quick little sketch. Give me an idea. There's more dark things back here on this side of this. I'm almost afraid to put them in, but there's like more dark stuff back on that side. But if you put the shadow in with directness and authority, then it becomes part of the structure of your painting, and that's what this needed. So there we go. And now it shows you the shadow shape. And same thing, this tree branch I didn't like, but go back in with dry. Whoops, sorry. My camera. Put your brush strokes in with authority. There you go. That's a nice one. What easel do I use for watercolor? Oh, for watercolor setup? Oh my gosh. Sarah, you already have everything. I use the Plein Air Pro. Here, I'll type it down for you. It's called Plein Air Pro Easel. Now, they've changed it since I bought it. Mine is, wow, it must be 10 years old or more, but it has held up well and I love it. There's a few different sizes. They make one for oil, one for watercolor. So mine obviously is the watercolor version. And you know, another time when I have my camera, well, I can show you. I can flip my camera around, but my studio is such a disaster. I don't even care, but it's, I I'll show you this setup. And I use it actually in my studio. I have it set up in my studio all the time because it's just so easy to use. It's just another easel to have in my studio, and I have a huge wooden studio easel thing that I don't even use. It's up in the attic. What I use is this one because I can easily just take it down and put it in the car and go plein air painting. Oh, well, it is a hassle to take. It's easier to just go out with a sketchbook and paint, and then when you get home, do a larger painting. But if I'm doing a plein air event, I will take this easel. I took it to China. I've taken it everywhere. I've taken it to Italy. The only thing is that the tripod that it comes with, like the last time I went to Italy last fall, I took a carry-on bag, the international one that fits in the overhead, so I don't have to check anything. And this tripod, some of the girls that went on the trip, there's one girl from Virginia who bought a different tripod, and she used that to attach to this easel because it's shorter. And I think it was a Manfrotto, however you say it, Manfrotto. But I have the tripod that came with this easel, and it's fine, but it is a little bit long. So, did I take it with my... It comes with if you buy the whole set, it comes with the backpack thing that comes with it. And mine's the smaller version. I have a friend here in Raleigh who I recommended the easel to her, and she bought like this thing, and it came in this huge backpack thing, and I'm like, no, mine's smaller. So I don't know if they've changed it over the years, but a lot of people use this easel. Let me see if I can switch my camera over there to show you. Oh, it's upside down. Sorry, Sarah. There's my studio upside down. Because I flipped the camera around. Hold on. OBS. Browser video capture device. Edit, transform. Whoops. Edit, transform. Okay, there you go. This is it. So, let's see if I can. There you go. Now you can see my studio. But yeah, so this snaps off. And it has this magnet thing on the back, which you can use to set it up as a table easel. So, and that just snaps back on there in a magnet. And that's the brand. So this is a pretty solid plastic. I haven't had any problems with it. And of course it comes with the traditional, tripod thing here. And I guess it'll fit in any standard mount, but I'm not sure. You might have to adjust that a little if you use a different mount, a different tripod. And then it also has on the back here this thing that slides out to hold brushes. So and it has a ledge in the front for so your paintings don't fall off, which is nice. And then it came with this cutout thing, which it has a cup holder and more spots for brushes. And that just fits over your tripod like that. So, and then this is adjustable. So you can really put your, I mean, it sets up in, you know, just like that, and you're painting. So it's got this thing. I'm going to look and see if you have any questions. Oh, well, have you seen the ones that are, I gotta think of the brand name. Yeah, I don't carry any wooden boxes or easels or anything like that around, because of the weight. So I like this, but for oil painting, there's another one that I would recommend, but I don't know where. What makes it special? Nothing really, just the fact that this thing is lightweight plastic and it clips on, and then it has this. That's it. I mean, it goes together really quick. The tray is a little bit low, but if you hold your palette in your hand, then you're okay, and the tray just becomes, you know, it holds accessories, water and you know, whatever, paintbrushes, towels, iPad, camera, bug spray, spritz spray bottle, you know, all those little things that maybe pencils, marker, I don't know. The tray is a little bit low, but I mean, you know, you can do this. But I think at that point, most people would probably just do this and then use this for, but if you're sitting down though on a stool, because you can put it lower, then I think that palette shelf would come in really handy if you wanted to put your palette on there and take a rest, because you don't always stand and paint. A lot of people in China, I noticed, sit. So if you have your little stool, your camping stool, or you sit on a rock and you want to put your easel right in front of you, then that palette would be right at the right height to make it handy, I think. I mean, I don't sit a lot when I'm painting plein air, but I think it'd be okay. And you can also put the panel off to the side, this thing. Like, I think you can do it this way. So if you're sitting here in front of it, you know, it becomes a shelf, a side shelf.
How's your little spritzer, honey?
Time, honey. I could use more ice and more everything in there, but not too much wine. He's gonna fix my spritzer for me. Yeah. Close this door. So I can't complain about it. There is one that's metal. I'm going to turn this camera back around. Gorilla painter chairs on rollers with umbrella. Yes, my palette has a thumb hole. It's a Holbein palette. Let me switch this back around now. Let's see if I can. Let's switch this back around. Edit. Transform. Okay. Yeah, my Holbein palette. This one has 24 wells. Thanks, hon.
Alrighty.
So this one is really comfortable to hold for me, but actually I'd have to Oh, that's odd. Actually, I like it this way better because I can pull the paint out better. I've never used it this way. I always set it down when I'm painting. I honestly don't use this way like this. I guess I could, but I'd feel like I'd have to get the paint out this way, you know, from the wells. I don't know. I guess it'd be all right. But I usually set my palette down on that shelf. Or sometimes I'll paint from the back of my car with the palette sitting on my car on the tailgate. Right, if you hold it in your left hand, you're right. So maybe I should get a different palette. But I really like that one because it's lightweight. Like I've seen some of these master guys with those John Young palettes or whatever that you order custom and they're brass and all that stuff. But if you ever lift one up, the darn things are so heavy, you'd be like, no way, I can't even hold that in my hand. Yeah. It is weird. But I usually set it on that tray, even though it is too low. I mean, that's what I do. But put this back here, maybe. And I'll put this down here. It's art supplies are so much fun, and the thing is, you never really. It's hard to know until you try something, and then it's too late. So you go through a lot of variations of different things. I have an older plein air setup from a while back, and it just sits in my garage in a closet. What's my other painting? Yeah, definitely something to think about. And I mean, the older I get, the more I feel like if I'm going out, if I'm painting at a plein air event, obviously you need the easel and all the stuff, but if you're just going out for a day, like lately I've been going to the iris fields, take a sketchbook, make it fun, and not worry about doing a finished painting. Just do sketches and studies. It's so much more relaxing. I think I told the story a while back about being in, I started painting with the Laguna Beach plein air painters, and I went up to the park there above the beach, and I was new with this group, and I wasn't very experienced, and I noticed one older lady there sitting in a chair with her sketchbook, and she didn't have an easel, she didn't have anything, and I thought, wow, well, that's weird, she's not going to do much. And she had it right all along. It was like, go there and sketch and figure things out, and have a good time, and don't worry about it. Sit in a chair, enjoy the beach, do your sketching, go home and do a finished painting after you figure out where you're at. And then if you feel like doing finished paintings, take your watercolor, all your watercolor paper and your tape and your board and your easel and your all the stuff, and then do full paintings. But it depends what you're after, what you have in mind. But more and more, I like the idea of just taking small sheets of paper and sketching and doing. And I suppose there are times when, you want to get your big brushes out and half sheets of paper and really go out there and do the whole California plein air watercolor thing, which, you know, I just love those guys, all those old timers from the California school, you know, of plein air painting. It's just, they're just so good. Oh, that's all you've ever done. You want bigger paper on those extra nice days. Yeah, go up to a quarter size sheet and a cheap solution. Well, what a cheap solution would be taking a piece of gator board, the size of your watercolor paper, just enough so you can tape around the edge, and put on the back of that, clamp onto it one of those things that fits into your tripod mount, and just use that for your board. Just put a tripod adapter thing, super glue it onto the back of your gator board, and put that on your tripod. And then you can attach your watercolor paper to that. And that's all you need. And just do a quarter sheet, stuff it in your backpack, attach it to your tripod, and you're done. I can hear Joe in the next room. Our neighbor is here. Joe made this fantastic dinner tonight, so he's all happy camper. Yeah, just get whatever that thing is called that fits into, you probably know because you're a good videographer and photographer. So just super glue that thing to a piece of gator board, cut exactly the size you need for your paper, and slap that thing onto your tripod, and put your tripod and the gator board. In fact, what I do when I'm traveling is I cut down my gator board. I'll show you. Well, this one isn't it, but it's so lightweight. You know, you could put that thing here and then just attach it to your tripod. And what I do is I cut these down to size to fit in my carry-on luggage. So I have one that's a half sheet size that fits exactly in my medium size. It's not a carry-on luggage, but it's a medium size suitcase. And then I have another one that fits exactly into my truly carry-on luggage. And that thing, I can put it in there, and what I do is I take all my watercolor paper, I put it in a cellophane bag, and I tape it with artist tape, the cellophane bag with all the watercolors taped right onto here. You know, like, well, here's a good example, because this one will fit in my carry-on luggage. I've got a nice drawing on here. Oops. And so I just take all the watercolor paper, I put it in a bag, and then I tape it around onto there so it can't bend. And it's all ready to go. It makes it super easy for traveling. And those you could make any size you want. Yeah. Yeah. What is that thing you need to put on your tripod? I guess you need this thing, right? Whatever that is called. The square thing. I don't know where you get that. I guess a like photography supply. I wouldn't even know. back on there. Oops. Ah. So yeah. Is that what it's called? A release plate? Oh, you can? Yeah, if I had that, then I wouldn't even take that other plastic part with me when I'm traveling. I would just take the gator board and put it in my suitcase, my travel thing. And then I'd get a Manfrotto tripod that's a little bit shorter, because the one that comes with this N Plein Air Pro, the tripod folds down to about, just like 2 or 3 inches longer than you really want. And there was a girl on my last trip that she had gotten a Manfrotto easel to replace the N Plein Air Pro one that she had, just for that reason, because it was too long for traveling. Right, to fit the tripod head, yeah. And you can do that. I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't be good at that, but you can do it, I'm sure. Yeah. I'll put that back up there. Put these over here. Yeah, my studio is an absolute disaster right now. I have to just have to make sure. Some of them use rectangular heads, others are square. Yeah, this one looks a little more square. But that would make it really lightweight, and you would just have your watercolor taped to it, to the gator board. I don't know why that wouldn't work. This is a half sheet plein air painting that I did at an event a couple years ago. That's kind of the way I paint, real loose like that. I still didn't find the little sketchbook I was looking for. What time is it where you are, Sarah? It must be late, right? Are you a night owl? Yeah, as a photographer, you probably have a bunch of different tripods anyway, and there's no reason to buy another one. And you certainly don't need a backpack, because like my N Plein Air Pro came with a, it's a thing that converts into a backpack, but you can also hold it, the other way, like a handbag. And I do use it, but any standard backpack that you already have that you like is honestly probably better than what they're going to send you from that company. Oh, it's 11 p.m. Yeah, it's bedtime. Okay, well, it's really nice to have you stop by. On Sketchbook Sunday. We'll see you, I don't know, I guess you stream now on Monday and Friday, is that right? I think Mondays you're still on Twitch, and Friday you do, let me think. I don't remember if you're doing tutorials on Friday or what, but yeah, great talking to you too. Come to North Carolina and visit. We have lots of room. Maybe when things blow over. Oh, you know, next year I was thinking about maybe going to that that show in London, the Watercolor. I forget what it's called, but I have a friend here that moved north of London, and I've never spent any time in London, so I thought, oh, that might be a one that I would like to go to. So you'd love to visit. You're welcome anytime. Pop on over. Pop on over to North Carolina. Actually, I want to move back to California one of these days, I think. But now my son is in school here at East Carolina University, so I feel like I can't really move unless he wants to change universities. And he's got such a great deal here right now with a scholarship and everything. It's kind of hard for me to pick up, and maybe I'll just have to go get it out of my system and hang out there for a while and then come back. We'll see. All right. Good night, Sarah. I'm going to sign off. We'll see you. Thanks for hanging out. Goodbye. Stop.